welcome to Miss V's Corner. Do you know the story of Scheherazade? Do you know the story of 1001 Nights? Well, I'm here to tell you that Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov has made a symphonic piece composition based on Scheherazade and her 1001 stories. This is a wonderful resource that you have on goclassical.com that I'm going to do a review on right now for you. Go check it out and stick around if you want to do, and if you want to use this in your music class teaching. Okay, so here we are on the website Go Classical for Kids. And this is what we're looking for this game, Scheherazade. This game is based on 1001 Nights, Arabian Tales, and this composition is composed by Rimsky-Korsakov, who's a Russian composer, a symphonic piece. In it, your students will get to play a couple of games. We'll get to learn something about the Persian art. We'll get to learn something about where Persia was in the old ages in terms of geography of today. Your students will get to create some puzzles, and there are 4 games that are part of this lesson plan and this listening activity. So I would suggest, if you're a teacher, to go to a website and click here that says for teachers. You can download music teacher resources right here that have multiple things you can do with your students and activities that fit the students ages 10 to secondary students. You can download the lesson plans. You can download all of the information that is shown right here. There are reading materials, there are quizzes, there are some coloring activities, storybook activities. So go and check out the teacher section if you are a teacher. So here we are at the game. The game has multiple written instructions and explanations. The listening and learning activities that talk about specific aspects of music. The storyline continues, and it tells you exactly what is happening in the storyline as you listen to the audio of the composition. Again, listening and learning, the talk about mood music, or mood of the music. To advance to a next slide, you always need to find Connect button, which is a little squiggly red line that is located somewhere on the page. You can read all of those because it talks about pitches and mood music. Again, you're looking for a continue button. That is a little red circular looking line. So as you read the information, you can talk to your students about all of this, then continue. You look again for a continue button somewhere. The story continues, and you read the information, and the information is read to your students. Again, talking about texture of music. And here we are at the part that talks about playing a game. You have to play these games because at the end you need to find all the keys to enter the garden. In this game, you need to find what violin is. This is a great game for students that need to learn or need to practice if they know what a violin is. Why violin? Because violin is the instrument that is played to show the theme of Scheherazade. And here we have collected the key. The first of the keys, we need to have 3. And the story continues. Again, you click and find your continue button. You cannot advance until you found your continue button to go on with the story. Of course, you'll spend more time researching this and talking about this with your students. What I did right here is just a quick overview of what it would look like, so you know what's in store if you go to this website. Now this part of the story introduces Scheherazade and her love for telling stories. and how she has come to the king and asked to tell him stories for him to spare her life. Again, we are playing the game number 2. Make sure you click play the game because you need to receive all 3 keys. Now in this game we are dragging the parts of the trombone that represents the theme of the king, as opposed to the violin that represents the theme of Scheherazade. And then you've received a second key, and you can continue with the rest of the story. So this is the part of the story where Scheherazade comes to the king and tells him, hey, I'm going to tell you stories and please spare my life. Again, the continue button. Make sure you read those things on top so you can go through different vocabulary words with your students. I've just quickly X'd them because just for the time sake of this video, so it does not last 15 or 20 minutes. Again, those listening and learning numbers, number 12, it's important so take your time to read through with your students. Now we are at the game number 3. We are here playing the game where we need to match the king's mad voice and the theme of Scheherazade. So there's only one correct answer per picture and per listening example. And we have received the third key. And we're almost at the end where, of course, the happy end is a must. And King and Scheherazade end up falling in love. And King has not killed another young woman in his kingdom. So Scheherazade has saved all of their lives by telling all of those wonderful 1001 stories. Listening and learning number 13. It's important for you to stop there and tell your students. And now we have all the 3 keys and we can unlock the secret garden. Inside the secret garden, the music is amazing, so please make sure that you let your students listen to the music. You have different choices of Persian architecture, the map of Persia, and a puzzle game. So this is the Persian miniatures or the art activities. You can print those out so students can do them in art, color, and decorate. Now we are a map of ancient Persia, and then it tells you right here to click and connect the dots so your students are aware where ancient Persia actually was located as opposed to the world map of today. This can be tied in nicely with the geography unit or history unit, absolutely. The world's your oyster, as you say. You can talk to your history teachers or geography teachers if they want to plan a lesson that goes along with this. It's always great to do a collaborative lesson for the sake of your students. Then they learn better and they gather information in their, hold on to the information longer in their minds. Now this is a really quick puzzle. I'm going to fast forward through this as I do the puzzle. So this puzzle can be done as a group activity or individual activity on students' devices if they bring them to school. Now on the bottom you have different links to storytelling that you can go through with your students or ask them to read individually to you or to themselves and then prepare some sort of a presentation. This can be tied in with the language arts and reading. Persian miniatures. Talk to your art teachers. I'm sure they'll appreciate some cooperation or some group activities, collaboration activities. There are links for teachers that you can download all of those PDFs. And of course, there's information about composer, Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov, a famous Russian composer. Okay, so this is it. I hope you've enjoyed this resource. It is a great unit that you can do with your students. My suggestion is work on the student with the students that are a little bit older, maybe tens and up. Middle school students would be a wonderful age to do this with, because they can make connections and references in terms of geography and where things are in the world right now, as opposed to where they were back in the ancient Persia. Hope this was fun, and I hope you get to use this in your teaching experience. Thanks.